So has the housing market shifted here on Lake Oconee and the surrounding areas? Today we're going to talk about the local market, so let's roll. Hey there, my name is Philip Randolph, and on this channel I create content all about living here at Lake Oconee. In the past several months, the housing market on Lake Oconee and the surrounding areas, such as Greensboro and Eatonton, has begun to feel a little different. We're not seeing homes go under contract in the first couple of days like we did earlier this year. Our showing activity has dramatically dropped, and the number of buyers currently shopping for a home here has come to a screeching halt. After a crazy market where things were selling 90 to nothing, this new normal seems really eerie. No need to act like Chicken Little. As we all know, there are seasonal changes in the real estate market now that summer has wrapped up and the kids are back to school. You know, I think once we get through this transition from summer into the early fall, the serious buyers will step back out on the playing field. They really want to know what's going on in this market, and we'll see an increase in activity from September all the way through the end of the year. Along with the increase in home prices, many buyers have pulled back when we had that uptick in the interest rates that reached, I think, around 6.25%. Interest rates right now are all over the place. You know, even if I were to pick up the phone right now and call one of the great local lenders I know, that would be a hard question to answer. With today's economy and inflation mixed in with your personal finance information and credit score, that rate quote is a moving target that even Annie Oakley couldn't hit. The days of sellers seeing multiple offers over list price in addition to waiving inspections, appraisals, and other contingencies to be the winning bid are a thing of the past. I know this is difficult for home sellers that have missed the peak selling season earlier this year. You know, we're in a transition stage now where home sellers are still looking for that inflated top dollar for their homes after seeing what their neighbors and their friends were getting this past spring and summer. They just want a piece of the pie too. On the other side, buyers are just not playing this game anymore. As soon as sellers realize the tables have turned and they are now competing for that pool of buyers watching this unique market, rather than buyers competing for the available listings, the sellers will begin to see offers turn into contracts. Don't get me wrong, there will still be a few unique properties here and there where a perfect match buyer is going to be willing to pay top dollar to get what they want. Sellers will need to take a hard look at what is a realistic asking price for their property. With the sudden shift in the market, sellers and their agents will need to look at comps of properties sold in the last month compared to the normal 6-month window, as well as what is currently on the market now and under contract. This change could make finding comps more difficult, as our local market is not that big. Don't be confused and think that our prices are dramatically dropping, but more the inflated prices that sellers were seeking are no longer acceptable to buyers. It's crucial that the sellers are realistic in their pricing strategy. You know, I look at the local MLS first thing every morning to see what's going on in our market. I pay close attention to what we call the hot list. It shows me everything that's happened in the last 48 hours. From the new listings to those that have gone under contract, expires, withdrawals, and of course I'll look for the red numbers that signal price reductions. Okay, let's take a look at 4 factors we are seeing to support that the market has shifted here. Number 1, increase in inventory. Not only here on the lake, but across the other markets here in Georgia and beyond, we have seen an increase in the number of homes available for sale since the beginning of July. There are more people putting their homes on the market than we have seen in a while. This is definitely a shift from what we have seen in the last few years. Number 2, days on market. This is the number of days a home is on the market before it sells. This average has increased since early summer. On top of more homes coming on the market for sale, they're now taking longer to sell as well. This is a result of many factors we are seeing in our local market shift that include location, such as inside or outside the gates, age of the home, condition, whether it's waterfront or non-waterfront, and of course, price, which brings me to my next point. Number 3 is price reductions. This is something we haven't seen in a few years. Earlier this year, in the late spring or summer, when looking at the MLS each morning, that number would be in the single digits, like 2, 3, 4 maybe. Here lately, I've seen double digits like 15, 18, even 24 homes in a 48-hour window. To put in perspective, our local MLS around the lake covers 6 counties, and currently we only have 265 homes available for sale. Price reductions have ranged from $20,000 to $40,000 in the lower priced homes, to over $200,000 in some of the big waterfront lake homes. You know, I find it a little amusing over the last 2 or 3 years selling real estate, and even before the pandemic, this new terminology is
price improvement.
I guess they're trying to make it sound a little bit more positive rather than saying,
we priced it too high to begin with.
I don't blame them for trying to get more for their clients. When you look at a home that's been on the market for 3 to 5 months, see several price reductions,
price improvements.
In that time frame, we are seeing a shift in the market. Number 4 is what I call hurry up and list my house. With the economy shifting and the summer coming to an end, some homeowners are thinking, we need to sell our lake home to take advantage of the current market and capitalize on their appreciating asset. Many of them are in different stages of life now and don't see themselves using a lake home as much as they used to. Or maybe they need the capital for other means such as retirement, college educations, or maybe they got that phone call recently that they needed to move for a new job or family reasons. Let me be clear, we are not experiencing a housing crash in our local market here at Lake Oconee. We are simply shifting out of an insane and crazy market we've experienced in the last few years to be more of a normal market. Buyers who are still in this market are taking advantage of this shifting market dynamic. Sellers are still shooting for the stars in hopes of a buyer will pay the higher price to get the house they fell in love with. For buyers, we will pull comps to verify the data before making a realistic offer. Another side of the market shift for buyers is that contingencies are back. We're talking home inspections, finance contingencies, and more are now back in the mix compared to earlier days of waiving those in order to win the bidding competition for homes. You know, a home is too big of an investment not to be able to vet that property before committing to follow through on the purchase. Even on new construction homes, we are seeing a different attitude from builders that are now sitting on several spec homes that would have sold in a hot minute 6 months ago. Closing credits along with minor changes depending on the stage of the homes are now open for discussion. This is compared to before when people were standing in line to buy them as fast as they could build them. If you're considering a move to the Lake Oconee area, I'd love to hear from you. You find all my contact information down below in the description. If you're watching this video on your mobile device, simply tap on the title of this video and the description box will open right up. Meanwhile, check out this playlist of communities here at the lake, and I'll see you over on the next video.